Soccer 605 with Coach Derry, President and Director of Coaching for South Dakota United Soccer Club. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of SDU?
South Dakota United started back in 2003, 2004 with just a U19 team, a bunch of guys. Got contacted, putting together a team from all over the state. Coached against them in high school, and we all got along. Parents got along, kids all knew each other, and really they needed a facilitator, and I facilitated it, and it just kind of rolled from there. And here we are now, almost 10 years later, and teams in all different age divisions, boys and girls.
And so where do most of your players come from?
Boy, there's not one specific area that they come from more than another. They're spread out. We've got kids from Spearfish, Rapid City, Belfouche, Sturgis, Huron, Minot, North Dakota, Bismarck, North Dakota, Fargo, North Dakota, Aberdeen, Watertown, Sioux Falls, Yankton, Vermilion, Mitchell. I think we pretty well cover everywhere where there's soccer. We've got a player from there.
And I'm sure you missed one of the towns you should have said, right?
I'm sure I did.
So, with your players scattered across the state and in North Dakota, how do you facilitate training?
It's been a work in progress for a few years. But we finally got it down to now where we have regionalized trainings. We have coaches who set up regionalized trainings, and they work on the individual fundamentals of the player, which in the end can never be worked on enough. The fundamentals of every player needs to be, a focus for all of us as coaches, because they don't get enough fit at a younger age, and it can be something that should become such a habit that they can do it with their eyes closed. So, we have facilities training set up in Watertown, Pierre, Sioux Falls, Spearfish, Rapid City. We have them set up, and we got coaches in each area that run the sessions.
So, how would you describe the mission of South Dakota United?
To take players where they want to go, not only in soccer but in life.
And what are some of the ways that you do that?
We do things, our community give-backs, where we go in, we do sessions, trainings in the small areas. We bring our kids in. We have kids get involved in the community. A great example is a couple years ago with the Pier flood. We made sure that we had a training during when all the flood was really bad in here, and during the whole time, part of the training for half a day was the kids to go around and help fill sandbags and help people out moving stuff out of the flood zones, and that sort of stuff. That's not stuff that can be taught on the soccer field. That's something that needs to be taught in life. Soccer is going to happen. We're going to train them. We're going to do what we can to help them out. But to teach them how to be better young men and women, that's our main mission.
I think you just came up with a new T-shirt slogan there, "Soccer Happens." So, one of the things that I've noticed in the years past is that it appears that every one of your teams challenges in the U.S. Youth Soccer National Championship Series State Cup. Is that one of your requirements for your team?
It's not a requirement, but it's a nice measuring stick. Where are we at? Where do we measure up against the other clubs in the state? Dakota Alliance, Rushmore, Hub City, Hawaii FC. Where do we measure up? And if we're lucky enough to win, how do we measure up against the next level? The Chicago Fires, the St. Louis Scott Gallaghers, the Sporting KCs. How do we measure up against them? We focus a lot not on playing the local tournaments, because we want our kids to play with the local teams in the local tournaments, but we focus on going and playing against those bigger clubs. And measuring ourselves. Where are we at? And exposing the kids to what it looks like out there outside of South Dakota.
What are some of those tournaments that you typically, if a player were to sign up and make your team, what they expect to vote for that?
Well, this year we're going to Las Vegas to play in the Mayor's Cup, which is probably one of the top 3 tournaments in the nation. We'll head there. We'll head down to Kansas City to play in the Heartland Invitational or Emerald Cup or Border Battle, which are considered very good tournaments. We'll head out to Minnesota. We'll head over to Iowa to play in some of those tournaments. We've been down in Omaha and played this year in the inaugural Phoenix Oktoberfest. And then some of our teams will play in the MRL, Midwest Regional League, which for Region 2 is the top league in the region. So we're going to go out there and we're going to expose the kids to different levels, and between Kansas City, Omaha, MRL, we're going to see all the levels.
And speaking of seeing those levels, how do you see the South Dakota players measuring up against those bigger name clubs that are national in their sport?
You know, I think we have the players here that can do it. I see a lot of our kids. We just don't have enough kids in one specific area to measure up against St. Louis, Chicago, Minnesota Thunder, Sporting KC. But if we bring all of our best kids together, we can play with them. We just, you know, we got to get our best kids on the teams to compete with those level of teams, and you know that's kind of been our mission to try to do. And we've got some teams that are doing that, you know, and we're building every year to get stronger and stronger playing against those teams. So, you know, I see some great things happening for South Dakota Soccer, you know, and I mean, look at it, last year, 3 of our players, Conrad Hager, Cody Keel, and Echo Annan, all 3 right now are playing on the Region 2 ODP teams.